So the focus continues to be on Parliament. Pallavi has lost her voice because of all the screaming. Rahul Gandhi claims that his voice is also being fought.
No, I haven't really lost my voice, but yes, it's a bad throat, so I'm sorry. But as they say, news has to go on. Well, this is going to be completely a full-on confrontation, is something which we have been talking about inside Parliament. Rahul Gandhi wrote a letter to the Speaker, Om Birla, where he has accused the government of not allowing the LOP to speak. We've got Aman Sharma with us, we've got Arun Dhanta and Payal Mehta, who have been covering all the details. But to you first, Payal, 5 p.m. the Prime Minister is going to speak.
At least that is what the government has plans as of now, because 18 hours of discussion were allocated by the Lok Sabha in the Business Advisory Committee, where there is no Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his team. There's everybody from the opposition also is part of this as well. They decided 18 hours we'll have a discussion and then the Prime Minister will really reply. So today the deadline is 5 p.m. because the Prime Minister has to speak in the Rajya Sabha tomorrow. The discussion is going on pretty smooth in the Rajya Sabha. So we'll have to just wait and see what the government strategy really will be, because they did not expect that they'll have to suspend 8 MPs yesterday. That has happened, after which there was a long 2-hour meeting that Rajnath Singh, Kiran Rijiju, Prahlad Joshi, senior ministers in the government, Dharmendra Pradhan had with the Lok Sabha Speaker. Yesterday the Lok Sabha Speaker did not take chair because he felt that he was completely disrespected by Rahul, adhering to what he was really saying.
Yes, so what did Rahul Gandhi really say? Exactly what happened inside Lok Sabha? This tamasha has gone on for over 2 days. Let's just dip in to what really happened in Lok Sabha.
Speaker, sir, if the issue is about me quoting a magazine which I have authenticated, I am happy not to quote it directly. No problem. But I have to be allowed to speak about it.
Yeah. Honorable LOP,
You have,
Shri
Speaker,
Rahul
sir.
Gandhi ji,
Chairman,
please
sir. Chairman, sir.
listen.
Chairman, sir.
You have been given permission to speak on the Honorable President's speech.
I am speaking
What
on...
are you telling? What permission are telling to LOP?
Chairman, sir, I am objecting to the word permission. That is not the correct word, because I am not given permission by anyone. I am leader of opposition. So I am just objecting to that. And all I am saying is I want to make a statement about what happened between China and India and how our Prime Minister reacted to it. Why am I being stopped? Sir, in Ladakh, in eastern Ladakh, there was a conflict. Our soldiers were killed.
It's very unfortunate that Parliament is being treated like this by Mr. Modi and Amit Shah. They wanted to demolish the parliamentary procedures. They are not allowing the leader of opposition to speak in the Parliament. Whole day yesterday, his speech was not allowed. 4 hours his time was allotted for Congress Party. He was not allowed to speak.
100% it's wrong. जब तक उन्होंने बिल्कुल हमें प्रवोक नहीं किया, हम तब तक अंदर नहीं गए. हम सुनते रहे, रिक्वेस्ट करते रहे, हाथ जोड़ते रहे कि प्लीज let LOP speak.
Honorable opposition leader tries to raise his voice, but unfortunately it was not allowed. It was then we started our protest, raising our slogans, and we got onto the table. So it was purely in a democratic manner. When he was denied and other speakers were given the right to speak, we objected it.
So, Aman, what the government is accusing the opposition of is that you were suspended because you did not follow parliamentary protocol. Rahul Gandhi's letter to the Speaker, how is the government reacting to that? Will he get a chance to speak? Will the Prime Minister's speech be allowed?
See, Arunima, I think the moot question is that this is the reply to the President's address. But Rahul Gandhi does not want to speak on the President's address. Rahul Gandhi wants to speak on the unpublished book of the former army chief. He wants to speak on the Epstein files, which have come to revelation in the US. So these two things clearly were not mentioned by the President in her address. That is the main objection of the government as well as the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, that you should stick to what the President said and you reply to that. You criticize the government, you have all the rights as the LOP, but don't speak on outside the ambit of the President's address. That too on a book which is yet not published. You are basically basing your entire argument, entire speech on a magazine article, and as per the parliament rules, how much can you rely on newspaper and magazines to in a way derail the parliament? That is the government's basic, I think, objection to all of this. Also, even if we say, though the government has said that the magazine version which Rahul is citing is totally concocted, but even if it is not concocted, what does the book really say? As per the media excerpts which have appeared, that the defense minister apparently told the then army chief that do as per the military protocol, aap action lene ke liye swatantra hai. Isn't that what the government is anyway supposed to say? Tell the army. It's a military decision. The government doesn't dictate the way army or the air force should respond. It is left to the wisdom of the military forces. So in a way, some government sources are also saying that though the government appeared, too defensive in parliament, and why is this even being picked up? Even what Rahul Gandhi is saying essentially is not going so much against the government as well. Yes, the book is not published for 2 years. There are army rules regarding that, which is vetting it, and that is a call that the government will take. But number one is that, and I think also because he's the LOP, of course he has the right to speak, but you don't have a right to speak on whatever you wish to. The government is saying you stick to the president's address. I think that is what Rahul Gandhi is not sticking to. And now Rahul Gandhi writing to the speaker saying he's not being allowed to speak in parliament. I think the government is very clear. Nobody is stopping Rahul Gandhi from speaking, but he should not speak unsubstantiated and concocted versions of something which have happened in the past.
Right. So, the authentication business, Pallavi, Rahul Gandhi yesterday said that the speaker asked me to authenticate. I have authenticated it. So, what is the problem?
So there's different rules within the parliament which makes it clear that you cannot quote from a book or from a magazine. You cannot quote banners and posters. So when he began to speak on day one, he very clearly made this the issue that this is the article I'm referring to. This is from a book. The book, of course, mind you, has not been published because the book is still to get a clearance as far as the MOD is concerned. You may want to click and buy that book, but that book is not going to be delivered to you because that clearance hasn't come in. The government's argument consistently is that, first of all, how do you know it's verified? It's not even verified material on the basis of which you're hinging your entire response to the motion of thanks to the president. Well, the government may say so, but clearly Rahul Gandhi is not listening. Rahul Gandhi's point is very, very clear that as far as I am concerned, there is enough material to prove that, that there's something which went wrong and the government's China policy was completely faulty. Arun, the thing over here is that yesterday Rahul Gandhi, and what Congress sources told us, is that Rahul Gandhi's strategy is very simple. It's not just going to be about the Rane's book. It's also going to be about issues like the Prime Minister buckled under pressure. Prime Minister has compromised the country as far as the deal is concerned, and he's scared. And that's why he surrendered to Donald Trump's bullying, so to say, as far as the Indo-US trade deal is concerned. The BJP is counter to that.
Well, see, Pallavi, of course, we know it's a historic deal between the United States and India. Of course, there are some questions which opposition is raising that needs to be answered. Specifically, when Donald Trump or United States talk about that zero tariff on their products. So which are the products which comes under that category? That's a very, very important answer, and that needs clarity also. Secondly, when they say that India will buy $500 billion products from United States, what are the timeline for that? Because $500 billion is a huge amount. The entire year's budget of India is $543 billion. So what is the time frame for that? And also importantly, when it comes to, when yesterday the Agriculture Secretary of United States talk about that liberalization of the agriculture sector of India for United States, that's also a very important question. So these are the questions which not only the opposition, but in fact people of the country would also want to know. I think that's something where you will get clarity once it is responded in the parliament. Today, Prime Minister Modi is going to speak. We'll have to see whether he touch upon those points, and also importantly, the reply which government is giving in parliament on that specific issue. These are the important things which everybody would be looking at.
I think government sources also, at least what they are telling me, we have to wait for the official version of the Indian government, but this 500 billion figure, what I'm told, is spread over 5 years. So it will be 100 billion each year. Right now, our imports from America are about 45 billion in a year. So we'll be effectively doubling our imports from America. So American goods will come in double the measure, almost 100 billion a year. And I think that what the government sources are telling me, it will be possible because of the LNG purchases, the oil purchases are going to be ramped up. Also cashew nuts.
So that will be included in this.
And let me just
Yes.
let me just tell you all that even before the trade deal was struck, and basically Dola Sen is she chairs the committee for commerce. In that committee report, even before the trade deal was struck, our exports were already on the rise as far as the figures were concerned, to America.
So when the Prime Minister speaks today, Payal, will we get the first statement on the floor of the House clarifying especially the agriculture sector?
I do not think that the Prime Minister will specifically speak on the US deal because he's got a lot more stake than we have. But he will definitely highlight what the Indian government's foreign policy has been, that we've been able to strike so many deals as well. In fact, yesterday when I was speaking in the closed door meeting of the BJP and in the NDA, he said one thing very, very clearly, that India is a great contributor to the world economy. I think that is something which he'll really stand by. So we'll have to just wait and see what his comments are really going to be. But most definitely he will be tom-tomming the fact that his government has worked very, very hard to make all these deals possible. Nothing has happened overnight.
The FTAs are also going to be one achievement which is going to be followed. And the Congress, I think, is going to make this the issue that when the House is in session, why did the Commerce Minister speak outside? But yesterday, the Commerce Minister, at his press briefing, made it very clear to us. Many people may criticize him for saying, why was he attacking only Rahul Gandhi? The reason is, first of all, the nitty-gritty of the deal has not yet been worked out. That still has to be inked, it has to be signed, and it's only after that you divulge the details of the deal. Second thing is, the fact that the Commerce Minister focused on Rahul Gandhi, he made it a political press conference. So that is an effective counter to the Congress's claim.
Maybe the dead economy jibe that Rahul Gandhi took must have really triggered Piyush Goyal and the others, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's why he kept on talking about the fact that, look at the kind of language you're using. And remember his press conference, and he flew down specially from Mumbai for this press conference. We were told that, the statement was ready. The government's mood was to make a kind of a statement on the floor of the House. But the House is adjourned repeatedly.
Yeah, so one thing, if you allow me, in Rajya Sabha, the House was running. So that's what the opposition is highlighting, that if you did not want to make that statement in Lok Sabha because of whatever political reasons, why could you not take the upper house into confidence? And upper house members from the opposition actually walked out yesterday over this deal. So in the upper house, you could see a lot of halla gulla on the statement as well.
We have to also, I think that we should clarify the point that Pallavi is also mentioning, that the trade deal is not signed yet. Okay, when we saw the India-EU, the trade negotiations ended, there was a complete, document which specified what item get taxed at what. This is not the case so far. I think what has happened, what I am told is that Mr. Trump and Mr. Modi have had a call. Top on the chart was that India wants these 25% reciprocal tariffs to be lowered because India has been taxed at the highest rate. Trump has agreed to make it 18%. Now the rest of the 25%, the oil purchases, apparently they will go. Sergio Gore has said on record to Zaka Jacob over that phone call 2 nights ago that the 25% additional tariffs will also go. Now, very important to understand that the additional 25% tariffs were put on us because we were buying a lot of Russian oil which was discounted, which was non-sanctioned at that particular point of time. Today, 2 leading Russian firms, oil is now sanctioned. Anyways, we can't buy it from them. The discounted attraction is no longer there. So, obviously, even in the months we have seen, the quantity is coming down. So, I think Trump is doubling down on the fact that because India is coming down on buying Russian oil and because we're going to buy US and Venezuelan oil, which was sanctioned in 2022 when we started buying Russian oil, that is why I think the negotiation so far is on the tariff rate, which has come down from 50% to 18%. The fine print of the trade deal, how much agri products we're going to allow, which agri products we're going to allow, which dairy products we're going to allow, I think that all is still under negotiation. It will take maybe months for it to be decided. But only when Donald Trump comes to India, maybe for the Quad Summit, that's what I'm told, that the trade deal could finally be signed.
And that's the reason probably the government is treading very carefully. Otherwise they're very vocal, hardly quiet on the issue because obviously nobody wants to jump the gun.
And 2 point, Arunima, which in fact Pallavi was there in press conference, which Piyush Goyal made. The one is, of course, he said that government was ready to make a statement in the parliament on that. It is because of Rahul Gandhi that he was continuously creating that situation, chaos was happening, they didn't do it. Secondly, what he said, because this is also criticism of the government, that why did Donald Trump made this announcement? So he said that he was the one who levied that 50% tariff on India. So how would we know when he's planning to drop down? So he's the only one who will make that announcement. That's why it happened.
And Trump has always trumped India and making announcements anyway. So, we can't really control what Trump does. But I think government was a bit late that night because they also thought maybe that parliament is on.
Just to give you an anecdote, a few weeks ago, we had asked one top BJP leader about Donald Trump. He said, हमारे पास ना Donald Trump है ना हम किसी को Donald Trump बनाना चाहते.
Should we take the political reactions? There are a lot of political
There's
reactions.
plenty of chatter, of course, and there's much we have all want to share. But we have to go in for all the political reactions. Let's listen into them, and then we're going to come back.
देखो, इस विषय पे मैं बहुत बता चुका हूँ, सदन में भी मैंने कहा है कि राहुल गांधी बार बार सेम चीज रिपीट करता है कि बोलने नहीं देते हैं और हम लोग उल्टा उसको कह रहे हैं कि आप बोलिए. वो बोलता है नियम से बाहर बोलेंगे. जो लोकसभा राज्यसभा में जो रूल्स ऑफ बिजनेस प्रोसीजर है ना, जो कंडक्ट करने का रूल्स होते हैं, ये रूल्स हमने नहीं बनाया. ये रूल्स राहुल गांधी जी के दादा दादी के समय में बनाया है.
क्या कहेंगे मैम आप? एकदम लोकतंत्र है, सबको बोलने की इजाजत होनी चाहिए, सबकी बात सुननी चाहिए. क्या कहेंगे मैम आप? रिडिक्युलस है, एकदम लोकतंत्र है, सबको बोलने की इजाजत होनी चाहिए, सबकी बात सुननी चाहिए.
Sir, what really transpired today, because we saw somebody talking to you very disrespectfully?
While the house was going on, somebody mentioned addressing the chair as "yeah," so which I thought was not correct because there has to be decorum in the house, and somebody else was supporting that. What's wrong in the PCC? So I was calling for maintenance and of decorum. That's what it says.
Raja Baring says he did not call you Yar, and he said nobody called you Yar. It is just that the NDA is playing games against them.
I think they'll be recording the videos, they'll play it and see who said what.
So, Payal, you were making a point before we had to go in for a political reaction. In the parliament today, the opposition quarters said yesterday that Makardwar protest will continue. If need be, more MPs could join the 8 suspended at Makardwar. The government
Well, of course, you know, the reason that the 8 MPs got suspended is because their behavior was not acceptable. You cannot get onto the speaker's chair. You cannot get onto the table in front of the speaker and try to block his view. That is something which the government took a very, very stern view of. Yesterday, Om Birla did not take to the chair because he was very upset. Today, we'll have to just wait and see what they really do. But, you know, the fact remains that can the opposition come in from this point of view that we won't let the government allow business to be conducted, we won't let the Prime Minister speak. What kind of threats are these? You know, are they allowed as well? So that's something which the government will certainly focus on. Two important things are scheduled to happen today in the morning at about 10:15. Rajnath Singh is expected to chair a meeting of strategy where top ministers of the government, whether it's Ashwini Vaishnav, Bhupendra Yadav, Dharmendra Pradhan, all will be present as well. And we'll have to just wait and see if the Lok Sabha speaker is able to draw any sense within the rest of the opposition. Because yesterday, when I was roaming around the political corridors in Parliament, I could hear a lot of young MPs from TMC being very upset that they were not being allowed to speak, and while Rahul Gandhi was taking everybody for a joyride.
But also when there was a moment, I would say, of unity when, you know, the speaker tosses the floor to Shatabdi Roy and DMK. All of them refused to speak. But, you know, they are poll-bound states, DMK, West Bengal. They would also want to make their point of view because, after all, when you sit inside Parliament, you're actually addressing your constituency.
Also, I think the TMC MPs will be busy today. Mamata Banerjee going to the Supreme Court. She could actually walk in there.
They didn't go with her anywhere yesterday as well. So they are going to be very much there. In fact, the ones cribbing the most were the TMC MPs, and they really said that what do? We have elections coming up. We want to speak on SR. We want to speak on multiple issues. But very conspicuous yesterday was the absence of Akhilesh Yadav, because after Rahul Gandhi,
doing a press conference in Lucknow.
So they seem to be pretty much, you know, with the Congress party on this issue.
So Akhilesh went to Lucknow to do a press conference.
TMC MPs are very much focused on Mamata Banerjee's visit right now. And in fact, the photograph which I saw Mamata Banerjee in the stairs of Supreme Court, I think that's something which, and in fact, I was covering around TMC Mamata Banerjee's visit also. There, you know, the kind of drama which she created outside at Banga Bhavan, that was, and immediately, you know, cameras started moving towards her, and she started having that conversation with the police walas. What are you doing here? Why are you here?
In fact, Kalyan Banerjee was the sole, lone ranger, along with one more MP when he went off to where the Prime Minister was sitting. No other MPs were there when he walked off. So TMC is also trying to make their point.
In fact, senior leader in the TMC, Shudip Bandyopadhyay, was telling me yesterday that there was no plan of Mamata Banerjee actually going and confronting the Delhi police. She saw that really happened. She was getting ready. She just immediately, that's Mamata Banerjee. She instantly
Mamata Banerjee
stepped out.
always has a plan. So, and she's got that Kolkata police also come down, make it a larger point. Look, I'm being targeted, I'm being threatened. But moving away from the Trinamool Congress, I know there are elections coming up in West Bengal. Aman, let's take a guess. What do you think the Prime Minister is going to speak about?
Today.
Yeah.
Well, I think it will be mostly, I think the Prime Minister could use the occasion to speak about the historic union budget. You know, what has happened in the budget, the kind of what Nirmala Sitharaman has said in a budget. I think an economic survey, the Prime Minister gets a chance to speak on it in Parliament. I think the Parliament, Mr. Modi will dwell on that, and Nirmala Sitharaman also in her interview to us has very clearly said that how important this budget is in the run-up to 2047 Viksit Bharat plan. The Prime Minister could dwell a lot on that. You know, economy of India is right now the shining star. We are the fastest growing economy in the world right now. So I think the Prime Minister would dwell a lot on that, on the growth chart ahead for the ministries, for his plans for his government, whatever the President has also said. I think he would also mention the two deals happening within a week. The deal with the EU first, which happened, and now not a deal with the US, but at least a tariff deal with the US. I don't know how much the Prime Minister would dwell into it, but he would definitely, I think, mention that we have been able to achieve trade deals with a host of countries. You know, not just EU, not just a tariff deal with the US, but many other countries we've managed to achieve it, in which many other countries have not been able to do it. And as Payal was reporting yesterday, his words in that all-party NDA meeting that the patience and perseverance of India has paid off. This is diplomacy. We didn't succumb to the threats and the blackmail and the, in a way, the domineering attitude of Donald Trump. We have stuck to our guns, safeguarded our agriculture and dairy sectors. I would be really interested to see if the Prime Minister dwells in on all that, because yesterday we did get that top source based information that India has really not given much on the dairy and the agri sector. Of course, the devil is in the fine print whenever it comes. But so far, India wants to safeguard its dairy and agriculture sector. And also, I think a clarification maybe on this 100 billion per year import that we plan to do from the US, because Trump has put out the figure of 500 billion, not specifying the time frame for the same.
No, it's over 5 years. This was clarified by the Commerce Minister also yesterday. Okay. It's 500 billion over 5 years.
Over 5 years.
Yes. As we are speaking, DMK MP Tiruchi Siva has given a notice demanding that the details of the deal be mentioned in the House, also saying that, Parliament was, respect was not shown to the Parliament because the briefing was done outside. So as we were discussing, opposition will...
for Piyush Goyal to make a statement, the House has to be in order. They are not running away from a statement. They are coming from a position of strength. But if the House is not in order, what do you do?
Tiruchi Siva is arguing Rajya Sabha was functioning. That's his argument. But Arun, when the Prime Minister speaks today, because Tejasvi Surya turned out to be the trigger for Rahul Gandhi's, outburst, that reference to UPA not doing anything about our civilization and President's address, do you think Prime Minister could dwell on that without naming Surya or by naming Surya?
Well, see, Pallavi, one thing is very clear that, you have 5 states will be going to polls, and this is a great opportunity for Prime Minister Modi to actually talk about the works which his government has done, and specifically about these states. And you spoke about Prime Minister's address. Opposition parties are saying that they will not let Prime Minister Modi to speak. So that is also going to be an interesting bit there as to what Chairman or Speaker will have to do there, because they are making it very clear that they will not let Prime Minister speak because they did not allow LOP Rahul Gandhi to speak. So as far as Prime Minister Modi's speech is concerned, it will of course, I think, about the developmental works which his government has been doing, and also of course the areas which President covered in the address, and also of course the budget. So Prime Minister has a lot to speak, and opportunities also there. So I think we'll be bracing for this important speech of Prime Minister Modi.
One interesting thing I would like to point out, I was speaking to a senior BJP leader yesterday, and they were comparing that India-US deals have always been very political in India. But he was pointing to the Manmohan Singh era when the Indo-US nuclear deal was done in a way. They said at that point of time, Mr. Vajpayee showed statesmanship, backed the government, because he realized that that particular deal was in national interest, in people's interest. But today he said, the top BJP leader told me that today that maturity is lacking on the opposition side. Rahul Gandhi, without even knowing what we have really decided with the US, is slamming us for selling out the country. This is not really a mature and a statesman-like approach what the BJP had shown when Mr. Manmohan Singh was signing that particular deal. It was due to BJP support, in fact, at that point of time, that key Samajwadi Party support, that the deal went through. So that statesmanship, because now it's become, the BJP leader was telling me more about political brickmanship, about Rahul Gandhi's ego, that without even knowing the fine print of the deal, you're accusing the Prime Minister of the country of selling off the country to the US. That is really what the leader told me, pretty immature. And when the deals, when the tariff details and the deal details actually come out, this leader told me Rahul Gandhi may actually be very, very surprised. Congress may actually be very surprised how Mr. Modi has shown this pragmatism over a year to not succumb to the US. There have been many allegations against the Prime Minister over the last 1 year by the Congress that why are we facing 50% tariffs? Now, when we come down to 18% tariffs, again the Prime Minister is being targeted that, you've sold out the country. So I think that is what the BJP may also want to impress on the floor of the House, that on certain points and on certain issues, there needs to be wider political consensus when it comes to dealing with them.
Right. So 5 p.m. the Prime Minister is scheduled to speak. Pallavi, Payal, Aman, Arun, all of us will be there to get you all the details of what the Prime Minister says. But we'll also have to wait and watch as to what Rahul Gandhi and the suspended MPs really do.